This podcast is presented by Zach Labs, Cosbon, the instant costume adhesive. Have you ever had issues using materials to build cosplay costumes, theater props, or everyday repair? We have the solution you've been looking for. Zach Labs proudly presents our latest product, Cosbon, the instant costume adhesive. What you get is a 8.5 by 12 inch sheet. You simply peel off both sides much like you would double stick tape, except this isn't that. This is our patent-pending microfiber-infused adhesive that has a tensile strength of up to 100 pounds. This unique adhesive sheet is instant, and boy, do we mean instant. Activation is different than other products, as ours works purely by pressure. Simply peel and stick, applying even force, and it bonds. Instantly. It's human-safe, non-toxic, pet-safe, no fumes, and the best part, it won't ever stick to your hands. Rated for up to 75 wash cycles before starting to give. Great in the cold, rain, and even the heat. Stick anything to almost anything. Metals, plastics, most cloths, and best of all for all you cosplayers and costume builders, is all of your foam materials. While it does stick instantly, leave it alone with a bit of pressure for 24 hours and it cures to even stronger. So wave your magic wand and just use Cosbond, the instant costume adhesive. You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. Welcome back to a fantastic episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K. Trotter. Joining me today, our special return guest, even though you haven't heard him because those episodes haven't aired yet for reasons we'll get into almost immediately. We're joined by a special guest from Xbox Live, Braden.
Hello, everybody.
And of course, my main man, my master control program, the Buster of Knuckles, the only person who knows how to work Discord because I fucking don't know how to work Discord, even though the Fork in Your Ear just got a Discord, so check that shit out, kids. The one and only, the legendary East Coast pirate of legend. Not quite, not yet, right? Mike List.
Hey, what's up, Tim? What's going on, Braden? Man, thanks for coming back, dude. It was super fun having you on, even though no one heard the episode, but you will eventually. It's weird, but yeah, man, thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. You were a pleasure to have on and had insightful topics of which no one has heard about yet. So, truth time, everybody, listeners, fans, friends. Yeah, we haven't had a show on the air in 2 weeks. So, even though we recorded one that actually got cut up into 3, and they were actually sitting on my desktop right now, ready to go. So, a couple of things happened. One, it was a really fucking long-ass show, and I cut it into 3 episodes. 2, I was waiting to get an ad done that needed to be inserted, because as people have heard about in previous podcasts, I have a second job now, in which case that is selling the product Cosbond, which you can find at cos-bond.com, which is the instant costume adhesive. It really works, folks, and I've been working many weekends now, selling that shit at like Comic-Cons and anime conventions and stuff like that.
Cool.
So there's an ad that is in the process of being made, but the person who is going to voice it is she's been sick. So that got delayed, which delayed me getting those podcasts out because they were actually ready to go that Saturday night. We recorded them. But then we're just going to move right into life topics here before we get to the other more uplifting things, hopefully. So as everybody remembers, the previous podcast, Mike lost his fantastic best friend companion, Bella, in the previous podcast that our audience listened to. And we all got griefy about it. I got griefy about it, especially Mike. But yeah, the Sunday right after that show, my beloved dog Zephyr, he passed away in his sleep. And so I am also German Shepherdless. And I took that really hard. As people remember, if you listen to the previous show, I had one previous German Shepherd or one previous dog before Zephyr, Bailey, and my parents put him down while I was away in Seattle, so I never got to say goodbye or any of that sort of stuff. You know, wasn't my call. And then this one was just a completely different, horrific experience. You know, he was just, you know, lying there between the living room and the kitchen like he was asleep. Except that, you know, he wasn't. And I cried, and my parents cried, and I remember I was actually going to do a bunch of dating stuff with my girlfriend Jessica that day, and I texted her, or she had actually texted me in the morning, and she was like, I'm at the gym, you know, and I was like, cool, still on for a date thing. And then I found out about Zephyr, and I was just like, so Zephyr's dead. And she was like, fuck, I just got on the treadmill. I'll throw my shit back in the car and head over. And, you know, it was really sad. Like, I mean, the amount of instant tears and like, oh, no kind of thing was like, it was so surprising to me because I've dealt with a lot of like human death in really the last 2 years, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the death of Zephyr hit me so much fucking harder. Like I was just like fucking bawling, and I was like, you know, and I'd never experienced the loss of a pet. I mean, you know, like I didn't see him pass, you know, but like he was just there and he was still warm, you know, and
Yeah.
You know, my parents came because you know, he was their dog too, and you know, I was just grieving and crying, and they were crying, you know, and you know, like, and I've seen my mom cry about various things, you know, but like my dad was crying, and if anybody who knows me from the show, my dad is a fucking hard ass, so to see him cry was just like, holy shit, you know, like, you know, my uncle Fran, his older brother passed away a year before, and like I did not see that man cry, but over this dog, you know, dude cried, and I cried, and he was still warm, and it was weird, and he looked just so peaceful, you know, and you know, there was a point where I know it sounds dumb, but because like I didn't know, like I was just like my mind was racing, you know, I'd never experienced this before, and so there was a point where I felt like breathing or something coming from him, even though he's dead, and I was just like, maybe he's not dead, you know, and then my mom just like came over and was just like, no, that's just gases escaping, because shit still kind of functions for a little while after you die, even in a dog. And I was just like, oh. And you know, we we're like, okay, what do we do? And then my mom, who took it the hardest, actually, like, I don't know, me and my mom probably both took it hard, you know. And then my mom was just like, well, we have to bury him. Like, we have to bury him right fucking now. I need it to be done. And we were like, okay. And you know, Dad fired up his backhoe, and we dug a grave in backyard of my parents' home. And I mean, it was a backhoe, so it was like a fucking big ass grave,
Yeah.
you know. And we fucking carried him out in a sheet, which is fucking horrible. And we laid him in there, and you know, we covered him, and it was done. And I was crying, and my girlfriend Jessica was there, and I was just like, it was just so weird, you know. Like, I mean, I obviously loved him, and he's a fantastic, dopey, very lovable, strangely not very attack doggy German Shepherd. Like, even though he was a full German Shepherd, he definitely, I mean, you know, he liked people, you know, which I couldn't say for the previous German Shepherd, you know. And like, you know, because the previous German Shepherd Bailey, like, he fucking hated everybody. Like, if you're not his family, he'd not give a fuck. He would bite you, you know. Like, he was a mean old son of a bitch, but he was good to us, you know. And then Zephyr just loved everybody. Just fucking play with cats, fucking would chase squirrels and like not bark at them. Like, like, you know, like how much German Shepherd is in this dog? You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest here.
That's the thing with German Shepherds. They're either one or the other.
Oh, don't I know it, man?
Like 100%. They're either oh, I'm gonna attack everything that moves but my family, or oh, you gonna give me hugs? That's it. Like, Belle was the same way. Belle was like the biggest, sweetest dog ever.
Yeah.
And I mean,
for sure.
When you were talking about him, I got a little. I'm not gonna lie. I had to mute a little bit because
I
was like, ooh. No,
I'm sorry,
bro,
buddy.
I'm sorry. No, it's all a part of getting. You know, it's the steps of grief. You know.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, you know, my life has been so shitty with work. Like I mentioned at the start of the show, you know, I worked SakuraCon here in Seattle, selling Cosbond, and then my day job took a real awful shift where I've got to like start my day at 4 a.m, which super sucks. And I guess that's going to continue for like the next month or so, which I'm super happy about. So been hella stressed. And then there, not to get into details because girlfriend will kill me, but then there's also been some relationship troubles there. So it's just been one fucking thing after another, man. So it's been like, it has been rough.
Yeah.
So obviously gonna dedicate this episode to my loving companion, German Shepherd Zephyr. Obviously, resting in peace because he died in peace. Like, he was, you know, I mean, he was in peace, and I'm glad he didn't, like, you know, like, it wasn't like he just went, you know.
Yeah, there was no Zephyr.
Yeah.
It was similar to our situations were similar, except for, you know, he went in his sleep, and I had to make that decision for Belle. But yeah, she didn't suffer, and that's what really matters. Like, an animal, when your pet suffers, it's like you suffer just as much, you know.
Well, you know, on the previous podcast, even though it'll sound like, you know, 5 minutes between this show and the last show, even though it hasn't been in reality. You know, when Bailey was put down, my first German Shepherd when I was a kid, you know, he was suffering. Like, he lost control of his bowels, and he was all shaky legged and stuff, you know, and it was like, you know, and I had to go at the time to work in Seattle, and parents were like, by the way, when you get back, he's not here. We had to. And I was like, the fuck you mean? The fuck you mean he's not back? Like, so it was just a much different experience. And you know, and we did like a family thing. Like, we went out to like a family breakfast there's actually this like old style, like real American food diner by a private airport nearby where I live. And we all, we ate, comfort food, and
I say I live in the land of diners, dude.
yeah, but I mean,
New
like,
Jersey is the land of diners.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I know
like,
what you mean.
for me though, because like I have a bunch of allergies and food restrictions. Like I ate fucking full wheat, fucking Texas toast, fucking cinnamon toast with fucking pancakes drenched in bacon and fucking fake maple syrup and all that shit, But it was nice because like we were all like it was such a weird thing because it was also like kind of like a product of the times, because it's like I remember when Bailey went and it was just like, it was like gone. And I think there's like a framed picture on my mom's fridge or something of him. But like with Zephyr, because technology and the cloud and stuff, we were all searching each other's cloud, like phone storage thing for pictures of Zephyr. And we found like goofy ones and funny ones and pretty ones and all that sort of stuff. And we're just like reminiscing about this dog. And it's just like, it's so funny. The value one places on a pet that was so constantly part of a life in comparison to, say, I mean, I guess the only other thing I can compare it to is, Fran, who I said died, a year before, and it's like, it was just gone. And I was like, okay, done now.
but it's different.
Yeah, it's so weird, it's like, I mean, like, I don't know. It's just weird. I'm going to start talking about it now. If anybody has any other life stories that they wish to share before we roll the ring and get onto something much more pleasurable to talk about,
Well, I mean,
now's the time.
I'm going to stick with the whole dog thing because we got Bella's ashes back.
Oh, good. Those fuckers overcharging you finally gave you their fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was an overcharge, but it was, it's nice to get it back. But when I got it back, I got all upset, obviously, one would get upset. And then I looked at Pete and I started crying because I looked at Pete because in my head, because I'm all fucked up, it was like, okay, I'm about to go through this with him too. And then my girlfriend was like, babe, he's going to be like 15.
Yeah, because that breed lives a long ass fucking time.
Yeah. I put the little memorial we have in the in our chat. Nice. You've never seen her, so I just realized that you've never seen Bella.
I've seen Bella.
Oh yeah, okay.
Dude, you fucking texted me all kinds of pictures. You had your Twitter memorial. You texted me tons of pictures of Bella, bro.
Yeah, listen, sometimes I forget on who's seen her and who hasn't. But
but Braden definitely hasn't seen her.
Yeah, Braden hasn't seen her. But that's our little memorial to her.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna pull up a picture of Zephyr to share to the chat.
Life. All right. What do you got going for life? And you might have a little bit of a better.
Yeah, Braden. What you got? Bring us up, God damn it! Save us.
Well, I mean, so last night, I guess this is probably one of the more fantastic things that has happened to me. I finally picked up my first sponsor. So that was pretty great.
For Twitch?
No, it's for vaping.
Okay.
I was picked up by Hype City Vapors.
I'm super confused about what exactly we're talking about. So obviously vaping is a thing, but you are I don't understand what's happening. Explain.
So basically what's gonna happen is Hype City Vapors is going to send me free stuff in the mail, like e-juices for my mod or whatever else they feel like, and then I use it, take pictures and videos, and I post it on social media.
So like the prosumer, like somehow you have been recognized as like you have enough followers on whichever social stuff you're on so that they're like, hey, spread the word of our thing and give reviews and stuff because you're one of the outlets.
Yeah, in a sense, but it was really funny. So on Instagram, I picked it up through Instagram. I saw on their story that they had a few spots left for sponsorships, and if we were interested, to swipe up and fill out the application. And so, which I did. I wasn't expecting to get anything because with this Instagram that I have being somewhat new, I only have 375 followers. Not a lot whatsoever. So I figured that was going to play a big role or a big part in me not getting.
That's kind of a lot, though, just to let you know.
But the amount that are inactive and that are probably spam accounts is just ridiculous. So, but anyway, yeah, I get what you're saying. But they messaged me back and was like, "Hey, you're approved. Here's how it goes." And I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, do you do like tricks or stuff, or do you build like I have a vape, and it's just because I thought it was I liked the taste of the one that they had. It was like an orange creamsicle. Do you like? Are you like a smoker that stopped smoking cigarettes because of vaping, or do you just do like the cool tricks? Do you build rigs? Like, what do you?
Me personally, I'm more into having the latest mod and just trying all these different juices, finding out what's good for your cotton, your coil, and everything else. I love doing tricks and trying to like figure out how to do some of that stuff, because if you think about it, that's just straight up airbending. Like, who wouldn't want to be an airbender? I don't know if you guys are into Avatar or anything.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, you came to the right place.
Oh sweet.
You're in good company, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
If you open that anime wall, it's gonna come crashing down because I can talk about anime all the goddamn night.
Oh boy.
And I just came from SakuraCon, even though I worked there. I'm kind of done talking about anime though. It's like overload.
But yeah, so now I'm hoping that I finally picked up my first sponsor, that I'll get more and see where that goes, because that's freaking awesome.
It's fucking really cool, dude.
That's cool.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
So now we know, Tim, we know a professional gamer. That would be one Damian Newman. And a sponsored vapor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we also know Dan Finity, so.
And we also, I
mean,
Dan's not sponsored though.
Isn't he?
What?
Isn't he? I thought he was.
I think he's affiliated. Dan, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I love you.
Yeah, we love you too, Dan. But hurry the fuck up and invite us on your show. It's okay. We know you don't listen. Or does he? That'd be really bad. If you do listen, disregard the last thing that I just said.
Other than life, I'm injured. That's still what's going on.
Oh yeah, you should tell the peoples.
Yeah, I forgot. That was in the episode that didn't happen.
Yeah, right?
I took a really bad fall at work and have a muscle contusion. I smashed my shoulder into a metal pole, or a metal support beam, rather.
Ugh.
And I'm out of work, so a lot more gaming.
Blessing and a curse, it sounds like.
I think Tim and I have played more in this week of me being out than we have for a while. By the way, Zephyr was super adorable.
Yeah. I mean, obviously those pictures I just sent were like a few days before he went. Yeah. And it's like when he was younger, like you can kind of see some of the red parts in his coat, like they were a lot redder.
Yeah, he was like red.
Yeah. But no, he made it to 11, which is a pretty damn long life for a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
So
they don't last long.
Yeah. Bailey, who I had to ask my mom about because I didn't remember. I think he only lived to 8, even though it seems like longer. But he was also like my childhood dog versus my teenage years to adulthood of Zephyr. Anyways, so cool. Vaping, dead dogs. Mike broke himself. Let's spin the ring and talk about something fucking happy.
It's a little bit nicer.
Okay. So we have landed on. I don't have my fucking cheat sheet here. Where's the fucking thing? We ironically landed on life again, so we're just gonna spin again. Fuck you. Okay, Earth technology. All right, so I think actually your boys at your RNG Cast Discord, Mike, have given me one of the best technology things to talk about this week. At least I got excited. I got hard about it.
Burning.
Yeah, Burning's comment on your Discord feed.
Yeah,
so, as many
minute.
people know, we record the show with Skype. I'm a Mac user, and I use a program called Call Recorder from Ecamm Networks, and have so for like the last 10 years. And it's worked fantastically for me. But Ecamm doesn't make a Windows product, and Skype corporate just announced that they are building in a call recording podcast feature for podcast professionals like myself and Mike, and it will be available to both the Mac and Windows platform. But the kicker that's going to make it better than the app that I'm already using right now, Call Recorder, which, don't get me wrong, fantastic. It's responsible for all the years of audio recording and quality and all that jazz. But since Skype is obviously Skype and I'm using a third-party app, they will be able to actually separate all of the streams, so you can individually edit and customize everybody's voice. Like, for example, like Call Recorder, like right now, I can... like we have 3 people. Like, I can separate my voice from you guys, but you guys are in one stream. So I have to edit your guys' voice at the same time. This will allow it so I would have, like if it was the 3 of us, it would be each individual stream. I could put a different filter on, make everybody sound nice and sexy and clean, and edit individually rather than sort of individually. And I guess it's also going to have like all kinds of crazy adjusters, like gain adjusters, so you can adjust the individual volumes of everybody, which will be fucking fantastic. And apparently you can also like control like how much like download quality you get. So like if you like prefer one person's voice over another, you can like actually like tell Skype which to demand, like, the quality of the audio file from each person. So it sounds pretty dope. I guess it's entered specifically Windows beta only, Windows 10 beta, in like the next week, and it'll be out to all people this summer. So it sounds pretty good, and
definitely worth a shot, right?
Yeah, I think because I think you tell me almost every week, Mike, that some fucking thing fails with your Skype or your recording. And
well, it's mainly just Skype, really.
See, and that's so funny to me because like I never have a problem with Skype itself as an app on my Mac, and I don't even have like a new Mac, my shit's old. So it's like, I mean, I don't know, maybe you're running. What are you running for your setup? Like, what's your specs, bro?
Or what do you mean? Like, we got Windows 10.
Okay.
We're using Almodo, the Call Recorder. And I've just started recently splitting all the audio to make it easier for me to edit. I used to do it one big file.
Yeah, that's a pain.
One big wave file, and that's a pain in the dick. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you got the recording, but it's like some people are gonna sound worse, some people are gonna sound shitty, and you don't really have a lot of control over that if it's one fucking stream. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, have you like looked into like, I don't know, like viruses or like cleaning up your computer or something? Because like if Skype keeps crashing and you're running a modern operating system, like what's the deal? I
actually had 2 years worth of audio files saved.
Oh, okay.
That might do it.
That's something.
Were you what quality were you keeping in, like the kind of file sizes that will burn your hard drive down?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
I know when I tell people the file size of, like say like an hour and a half show of Fork in Your Ear, and it's usually something like 6.5 gigs or something, which is the size of a fucking video game on like the 360 or something.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah. No, I know the times, Brayden.
And I do 3 hours for
Yeah,
RNG. So just imagine that.
yeah, for sure. But either way, I think it's a cool technological thing, and it's great that, I mean, I would imagine Skype is probably aware of how many people podcast, or maybe people have written in and complained at them to like build features in. I think I remember writing them once, like before they were bought by Microsoft. But I don't know. I think it's just a cool thing, and it continues to set Skype apart from. Oh geez, what are the other things that you can talk into on a computer? I mean, there's
Google
Discord,
Hangouts,
Google Hangouts. Obviously, if you're an Apple user, you got FaceTime audio.
do you use FaceTime anymore?
I use FaceTime.
Oh,
Are you a PC, a Mac, iOS, or Android person, Brayden?
Android and Microsoft always.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got out of that Apple game as fast as I could.
Oh, I see. You're one of
Yeah.
those people. All right. So look forward to never hearing from Brayden again on our show now. But why did you abandon the walled garden?
The walled garden.
That's what people call Apple. It's a thing. Look it up. Look up your memes.
My memes. I don't think I've ever even like slightly seen that. That's hilarious. But I just got tired of all the shit Apple was trying to pull, like with them purposely slowing their phones down, the battery issue. Like I was just done with that. And plus, I got this sweet deal on a brand new S8 Edge that I couldn't pass up, and I had an iPhone 5S at the time. That was poop.
Mm.
So, no.
Yeah, definitely reasonably old. So, like, when did you make the switch?
Last summer.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe.
Okay.
Yeah. I've actually only had one iPhone.
Okay.
So, and I wasn't too impressed, to say the least.
Fair enough. To each his own. All right. So, my big thing with Skype. What do you guys got for technology this week?
So, I think this is kind of creepy and sad at the same time.
Okay.
I was looking at MSN News here on my desktop, and this is something else. It's it's called Faribo. It's a robot built for lonely young people.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
So it was developed in Korea, and basically Freebo creates this virtual living space between a group of houses, and basically what it's there to do is to like tell you, hey, get up off your ass, message so and so, like do something, you know? And it looks a lot like an elongated, creepy Furby without any limbs. But it's got eyes. It's got just these white eyes with big black pupils that stare.
What was it called? I'm gonna look up an image. Freebo?
Yeah, Freebo. Fribo.
Oh, Fribo. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking creepy as fuck.
Right?
It's a scary fucking horror cat. Dude, Google this shit. Mike. What the fuck?
FRIBO, right?
Yeah.
What the actual fuck?
Go fuck yourself.
How does that help humanity?
No, go fuck
Like,
yourself.
I mean, if I had that in my house, I definitely wouldn't want to be inside.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to describe the image that I'm looking at on Google search. So there's a table, it's a fucking sad little single candle, and like somebody's attempt at a potted plant. And then there's this Freebo robot. And the best I can describe it is like take the shape of an iron for like ironing your clothes. Paint it black. Cut a V at the top like cat ears, and then add 2 demonic white circle eyes in the center of this black thing, which I assume has a screen in the center. That's just staring at you with like no pupils. Like it basically just looks like fucking a coup from Samurai Jack. Like who the fuck wants this?
Oh man.
That's perfect. It does look like a coup. It does. I give you credit for that one, Tim. You got that one from.
Cool
you got that one, buddy.
Yeah. So, anyways, carry on, Brayden.
Alrighty. See, looking here, it says it definitely got positive feedbacks. One participant said that they could imagine what their friend is doing, and they felt like they lived in the same house, but in another room. It's like sharing daily life activities with friends. Like, me personally, I don't understand what's so hard about getting up, stepping out your front door, and enjoying what all is out there. I mean, you don't necessarily need another person to motivate you to get outside, I don't think, but I don't know. This is something else. And of course, there was the negative feedbacks with the whole privacy issues and is this thing recording, sending off, our conversations.
Yes.
But
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh my. Yeah,
So
that's basically all that they have on it.
I mean, if you really want to throw yourself into a fucking tailspin, look up real dolls. Look up the robot fuck dolls that people have, and it's so weird.
Ugh.
So, truth time. I was like about a nanosecond this close to getting a real doll too. At one point in my life. Yes, for real.
I mean, all right.
I was very lonely.
I mean, okay. So what's the difference?
I know a lot about them. I know an uncomfortable amount about them.
I don't know how to dance around this topic dance around what I'm about to say without sounding like a straight pervert.
Don't dance. Just go for the stab.
Are you? Okay. You're gonna dance with the devil, the pale moon, with the pale moonlight. I mean, couldn't you just get a fleshlight, buddy?
So, I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Truth time, secrets time. Use a fleshlight. Who has it? Sometimes you don't want to fuck your hand. Okay, it's like 50% gay and 50% like weird self-incestuous. You know what I'm saying? It's your hand. I can't get through the fact that it's my hand. That fleshlight though.
Okay, so we're gonna get real hard on the truth time here, I guess.
So
first of all, I've never used a fleshlight. Secondly, I'm not a fan of the hand. I'm a pillow humper if I gotta get it done. Like give me something, like I gotta have like the whole body motion into it.
Fleshlight and the pillow humpers. I love it.
If I'm gonna masturbate. So my logic before, I obviously succeeded in online dating was the amount of detail into the synthetics of these fucking real dolls and like touch and that kind of articulation is pretty fucking insane. So from my viewpoint, it's like, well, I could keep masturbating to pillows until I wear pillows out and have to buy more pillows. Or I could customize a dream girl and or make her look like Scarlett Johansson. You know, so it's like, you know, like
Is that what yours would look like?
I mean, I I'm not gonna lie, I had a customized quote at one point, and no, it wasn't Scarlett Johansson.
How much?
Oh Jesus. I think mine was like, I want to say it was like $2,800 or something like that.
What? Well, okay, so I've never heard of these real dolls.
Oh my god. Okay, so there's a bunch of YouTube videos both from them, but also like shit that has been filmed for like the Discovery Channel and stuff, like how they manufacture them and stuff. Basically, it's a super strange story. So basically, they started as like a costume shop thing, making like realistic looking people, aka Real Dolls 1, and they're used for like movie props and stuff, and mannequins that were like hyper realistic looking. But then like I guess like a bunch of the staff were caught like fucking their own products. So then the people were like, well shit, if people are going that much into our things that look hyper realistic, why don't we go the extra mile and make them as realistic as we can? And so like a Real Doll 2 is like, it has like a fucking skeletal frame, and then there's tons of different like silicones and synthetic skins and stuff that like feel as close to the real thing as you can make. And it's like it's an inanimate object basically, but you can like pose its like mouth and lips and hands and shit and like hips, and it has like replaceable vaginas and shit, and like it's really yeah.
See, at this point, like I feel like I was fucking a cadaver. Like,
I mean, I suppose, you know, I mean, I never got one, so I mean, I can't attest to the experience, you know, but it's like,
I mean, I can tell you the exact model of fleshlight I had.
See, the thing with fleshlight is that, say you have a favorite porn star, chances they
sure do.
Fleshlight.
Yep.
But so onto your, I want to go back to your.
What the fuck were we talking about? Yes, go on.
So do you guys watch Netflix? I assume most people do nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah.
We watch lots of Netflix. In fact, sometimes we do commentary episodes on like movies and TV shows on Netflix on Fork in Your Ear.
Oh, dude. So one of my favorite Netflix original series at the moment, I'm really peeved they haven't done a second season, but it's Big Mouth. Have you guys watched Big Mouth?
Yes.
I have not seen Big Mouth, but Mike has told me that I should watch it.
Oh, dude, you have to. I kind of don't want to tell you this now because
now, knowing what I know now, don't tell him.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry,
okay.
Tim. You gotta watch it.
Okay. All right.
But definitely suggest this. I do suggest this, giving it a try if things ever go back to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say anything about it now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I guess for more information on Real Dolls 2, Family Guy did an entire fucking episode about them.
Good. Why am I not surprised? Family Guy too.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I think the thing was like Peter left Lois and he got a Real Doll 2. And then they did their total thing of like, it was like a whole episode. And then they're like, by the way, I'm not making any of this fucking shit up. You can go to this website right now. like it's a thing.
Wow. Now the story with what happened with the fleshlight is before my Jess and I got back together. Well, you get a little lonely sometimes, and I didn't want to hop on Tinder and then end up, something bad happened. So I got $80 and I bought a fleshlight. And It's a thing. It's a thing. But when Jess and I got back together,
Oh no.
and we moved in together,
Oh.
she was like, "Hey, what the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's Alexis, Texas." And she was like, "What do you?" She's like, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a fleshlight." And she's like, "You bought a fleshlight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I bought a fleshlight." And she's like, "Why didn't you just find someone, just to bang?" And I'm like, you see, I didn't want to do that because I was emotionally vulnerable and, that kind of thing." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." And she's like, "You going to get rid of it?" And I was like, her and I've been through a lot.
Mhm.
And she looked at me, she's like, "You don't need that anymore." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And she was like, "What do you mean, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Are you positive I don't need that anymore? Because I mean, I could easily just put in a box in the office just in case some shit happens, you don't feel like it, some things happen, you're super sick, whatever." And she was like, "No, you're good." And I'm like, "All right." So I had a little, it was sad to let her go. Yeah. Look at that fucking doll, dude.
Yeah, I just sent a picture of a real doll too.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Wait, is this in the chat?
Yeah, look at the
Yeah.
Skype chat.
Okay.
That's straight off of their website just now.
Why am I not seeing anything?
It should be popping up.
It
Soon.
might take a second. Get through
Oh.
this Skype.
When it comes up, tell me you wouldn't fuck it. But yes, mine was Alexis, Texas. If I would have got it later, it would have been Riley Reid. Sorry, we all have our
Riley Reid, man. Yeah.
we all have our favorite porn stars. Don't act like we don't. Unless Tim, you're gonna surprise me with some off the wall shit because you only listen to original movie soundtracks. You're gonna surprise me with like, I don't watch porno, like legit, like real porno. I watch some weird off the wall type shit.
What?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do, but I don't feel comfortable talking about it.
I was gonna break it down. I if you'd have learned some, you'd have been like, well, I mean, Tim, you already know some things about me.
Yeah, it's hilariously, I've actually talked about my particular preferences and whatnots on previous podcasts that I've done, like fucking 6 years ago or something ridiculous like that. So good luck sorting through that shit, trying to find where I talked about in that episode. But yeah, one day, Mike, you'll break me down.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Every now and then I'll just bring it up.
Today is not that day.
Hey man, what porn do you guys watch? Like that's gonna be like how I bring it up. Hey man, what porn do you like to watch?
I mean, what I can say is there's definitely, much like you and your fun fact, Braden, both Mike and my girlfriends are both named Jessica. So don't get confused. Yeah, weird happenstance.
Yeah.
Completely weird happenstance. I mean, it's a common name, so Actually,
Yeah.
I think somewhere it was the most common name in like 1992 for females. Like there's some like Guinness Book of World Records shit on that. But what was I gonna say? Oh no. So like you brought up the fact that like there was a porn talk with your Jessica, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "You don't need any of that anymore, right?"
No, that's not what she said. I don't need the fleshlight.
Oh, okay.
I can watch porn all I want because I mean, the computer that I'm using now is her computer, and like I'll be typing in, for YouTube, I'll be like www.u, and YouPorn will pop up, and I'm like, I've never used this computer. I'm afraid the government's gonna watch me spank it. So someone else did. So I asked her, I'm like, hey babe, why is there a YouPorn hot link on the computer? And she looked at me, and she's like, sometimes I get bored and I want to watch fucked up shit. And I'm like, and I just look at her. I'm like, I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, I watch porn sometimes just to see fucked up shit. And I'm like, you don't like? And she's like, no, I don't need that. I have you. And I'm like, well, you got a point, because I don't know if I'm as a dude. Ladies, if you listen, you can just giggle at this, because as a dude, You never turn it down, ever. That's my rule. I will never turn down any type of intimacy because sometimes when you're single for a while, you're like, man, once I get a girlfriend and she's like, hey, it's time to go. It's time to go. I had a blown out ACL. I was on crutches and like a brace that locked me out. And I was like, hey, you wanna go at it? And my just like she'll say it. She's like, she's literally said, I'm a sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex. It'll take a meteor. It'll take a meteor to stop me. I had 103-degree fever, and I looked at her once, and I pulled my junk out, and I said, "Hey, you want some hot dick?" That's what I said to her. Okay. Mind you, fellas, I don't remember any of this because I was at 103-degree fever, so I was losing my mind slowly but surely.
Also, Braden, you should really go through the backlog of this show. There's a whole episode where he got accosted in like a 7-Eleven because of his giant dick.
It was a Wawa, and a drunk girl grabbed my dick.
Wow.
Yes.
Was not asked to grab said penis, okay? She walked up, grabbed it, said some drunk shit to me, and I was like, could you let go of my dick, please? And there was a cop, like two people behind me. Right. She literally sexually assaulted me, and then the cop was like, I can arrest her. I'm like, hey, mind your business.
Mind your business.
Yeah. She's not holding your junk. She's holding my junk. Let her. I'll get myself out of this situation. Thank you. But yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike List. It's always a show.
So while we're on the topic of porn, here's a good one for you guys.
Okay.
So my entire middle school and high school career, I was a part of the marching band, right? I was always
Okay.
in the drum.
Fuck yeah, same, dude.
Right on that.
What is with this love for marching band? So my girlfriend was a marching band. I was never a marching band, but there was some fucking like camaraderie, like y'all fought wars together shit. Like whenever somebody mentioned like, oh, you in marching band? I'm in marching band too. Yes, we are now best friends. What is that?
What did you play? Were you drumline?
Yeah, drumline. I was center, snare, and section leader.
Okay, cool. I was in the low brass and I played tuba. Yeah.
You're right. Oh, dude, hilarious because this story is about one of my best friends that played the tuba.
We're fucking deviants.
Dude, let me tell you, man, people in the low brass are not to be trifled with.
Nope. We used to say low brass, big dick. That's what we used to say.
Oh God. Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell your band story, dude. Because
all right. So
I love hearing them.
I walk into school one day and my buddy Jerry, you know, his nickname was Panda. He was just this big, cuddly dude, very approachable. Like you just wanted to hug him by looking at him, right?
Everybody has a big cuddly friend.
Yes.
And if you don't know who that friend is, you're that big cuddly friend.
Yeah, boy.
Do you get hugged a lot? Because if so, it's you.
But so I walk in the band doors one morning, you know, expecting to see him, you know, ready to give him my morning hug and everything. And I see him in the corner, and he's just got this look on his face that something's not right. So I walk up to him like, what's going on, man? Something happened? He's like, dude, I watched the most fucked up porn this morning. And I'm like, oh, God, okay. I want to hear about this. And so he's telling me he was getting up in the morning, you know, taking care of his little pitching tent and scrolling through YouPorn. He found this thumbnail of this video he thought he would like, you know, had his hot chick on it, you know, just straight getting railed. And so he clicks on it, starts watching it, you know, he's liking what he's seeing. And then out of nowhere, the guy cuts a hole in her arm. I shit you not, cuts a hole in her arm and starts to fuck it. This is a serious fetish. And I'm standing there like, what the hell? What? I'm speechless at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but fuck it, since we're on the subject.
Might as well.
The first time I've seen porn, I found it in a duffel bag in the woods.
Wow.
With a bunch of my buddies. Like, we were walking through the woods, and it was like under a log. Like, the porn fairy was just like, there's a little leprechaun with this fucking throbbing hard dick running around, like, oh, the boys will come to find this now, and put it underneath like a log. That's what you find it. And we all grabbed the magazine because, you know, we were all, I think maybe 12, 11, something. Like, we were prepubescent, maybe like just jumping into puberty. And I remember looking through it, and mine was normal. It wasn't like Playboy or Hustler. It was like Cherry or Swank. So it was literally like, it was some graphic shit for back in the day pictures. And I look over at my buddy. I won't say his name, but I will give I will say a nickname that only he knows I use, Barbecue. My buddy Barbecue. And he's sitting there, and he has a real puzzled look on his face. And I'm like, hey man, what's up with that look? And he's like, mine's all dicks and feet. And I'm like, what? He's like, dude, mine's all dicks and feet. And I'm like, all right, do you want this one? He's like, nah, man, I'm kind of into it. And I'm like, all right, cool. And to this day, he still has a foot fetish. And I think it's hilarious because, like, now I just talk, like, you know, when I see him and his fiance, I think is what she is now. I'm like, hey, one day she was like, you know, he has a foot fetish. I'm like, oh yeah, I know. And she's like, where did that come from? And I told her the story. And then she goes, why did you find porn in the woods? And I'm like, that's the issue that you got from that whole story? The fact that we found porn in the woods? And she's like, well, what if it was like some weird guy left it there to like lure young boys into the woods? And I'm like, listen, you can't assault like 4 boys. You can't. You might get one of us, but then everybody else is running and telling. Also, my first time
trick worked.
Yeah, it would have worked if it was the situation. But
I can top both one of the first time porn stories and finding something in a woods that shouldn't fucking be there.
Oh boy.
You ready? You ready for this shit? Okay, so first of all, first actual time I found porn was in the classic shoebox scenario. But shortly after that, when I was realizing, okay, these things exist in magazines, who has these magazines? And I was with my buddy, who I'm not going to name because that will make things obvious.
We will call him Barbecue.
Sure, we'll call him Barbecue.
That will be that's the new thing, that every time we name somebody who won't be named, we'll call him Barbecue.
You know, and I was sleeping over his house, like you do with your best friends when you're growing up, right? And I was going through his porn collection, right? Like, because he had one and I didn't. And so I took one of his magazines, right? And this magazine, you know, was just like any other porn magazine. I don't remember the title of it. It definitely wasn't like, you know, like a Playboy or something like that. It was something smutty. And but it had like a red like sticker over the pages so that like you couldn't open it without cutting a sticker or something. And I was like, but I took it from him, and I took it from him for a while, and you know, did things with it.
Research.
And then yeah, I did research. I did intensive research of a prepubescent, you know, boy figuring out what masturbation is. And like maybe a year, maybe half later, 2 years later, he's over at my place, and for whatever reason, he's going through my porn collection. We're playing video games, and he goes, "What the fuck is this?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, I took a porn mag from you. Sorry, bro." And then he's like, "You didn't." And then I was like, well, I didn't think it was a big deal. You had like so many more than I did, so I figured you wouldn't miss one. And then he's like, no, that's not the point. and then,
Oh boy.
and then I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, this had the red sticker on it. And I was like, okay, was that like your favorite one? I'm sorry, dude. And he's like, no, this is the one that we never ever open. And I'm like, why don't we open that one? And he's like, you see this fucking girl on the cover? And I was like, yeah. He's like, and you jacked off to this girl?
Oh no.
And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you fucking bitch, that's my mom. And I went, no! Like any person should.
Stacey's mom had it going on.
And I was like, yeah, so we burned it that day. As you should.
Why do you have a fucking porn bag with his mom on the cover?
Oh, it was a whole fucking deal. It was like a thing, and it, like, I know all of the details to this story, but I don't feel comfortable talking about them on the show. But
Oh, that's fine.
like, there's a whole storyline here involving her eventual husband and how they came to be, and yada 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 yada.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, maybe one day after they're like dead or something.
Real day.
So
Real
anyway, all right, top that one. All right, next, finding something in the woods, right?
Okay.
All right, story time, kids. So I was in middle school, and as people should know from past couple podcasts, I was mostly homeschooled, but like required by the state, you got to go to like a school like a couple times a week, and I was going to this private school up north in probably one of the ghettoest towns in the state. Not gonna say which town because I also was born there in that ghetto town. But it had this park like right across the street from the school, right? And we'd go over to the park and play games and stuff. And I was with one of my first friends that I can remember, who I actually still know today, Brendan, and we were like deep into the forest of this park. And it was like a big ass park, right? Like the kind that's got like, like the front entrance has like, your walkway around the park where the moms go with the strollers, and there's some stuff in between with like trees sort of scattered about and a playground. But then as you went further back, like to the left, there was like a track, and then even further back than that was like an actual like honest to God forest,
Mm-hmm.
And we were just, chilling on our lunch recess break or whatever the fuck. And it was kind of rainy, as it is in Washington. And we were going back into this forest area. And we we were going like way deep in this forest, the point where it's like starting to get like real dark, right?
Oh God. Oh, my stomach's in knots.
And
I don't know which way this is going.
And we go further into the forest, and Brendan's like, like I want to show you something. And I'm like, okay. And we go in, and there's this really fucking weird like campfire site with like red paint everywhere, like, and like satanic pentagrams and shit, and like like real super like raise the devil kind of stuff, and like red candles burnt everywhere and this sort of shit. And there was like this little shrine made out of fucking stones and like bricks and stuff, and there's this honest to God like metal inscribed like copper printed fucking like metallic like book, like etched shit on pages of metal. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was in some weird like unknown language to me. Like, I don't know whether it was something satanic, You know,
Did you find the Necronomicon, Tim?
like I mean, it was like metal, like it was built to last, like it would live in Washington, super rainy, humid weather, you know. And we picked it up and we were like looking at this book and it was just so fucking freaky. And like Brendan's like, well, first of all, I was just trying to show you the campfire. None of this shit was here before. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Maybe you shouldn't pick that up, Tim. And I was like, well, it's a really weird, cool looking book thing. It's in the middle of the forest. Finders keepers
Yeah.
was my thought. And and we were like thumbing through this book trying to see if there's anything that we could like read in it. And it's super weird and heavy and like I'd still never seen a book like it before. And at like, you know, after a certain amount of time, we hear a rustling in the bush behind us.
Jesus Christ.
And like a sorrowful man moan, like a kind of thing. And at that point, being young and in a weird situation deep in the forest on break and like fucking
Scooby-Dooed the fuck out of there.
Yeah, we Scooby-Dooed the fuck out of there, except I took the book. Right?
Oh. Why did you take the book, Tim?
Because I was scared. I hung on to it. I ran.
Let go.
I couldn't.
I couldn't. I wanted it.
So, and then the real creepy part, though, was got it back to the school. I had it for like a day or two. And the principal found out that I had this like weird satanic looking metal inscribed book. And then she was like, "Where did you get that?" And I was like, "I got it from the park forest, part of the park forest. You told us not to go." And she looks me dead in the eye and she says, "You need to give it back to them." I was like, "What the fuck?" So next day, brought it back. Anyways, weird shit you find in the woods, right?
Yeah.
Where are they, Tim?
Huh?
What were they?
I don't know.
That's how a horror movie
I
starts.
still don't know. I still don't know to this day, but it's an excellent start to a book, right?
Yeah. That's the start to a horror movie, Tim.
Yeah, it's like, how does the principal know about it and know that like you need to give it back to them? Who is the them? How does she know about them? Is there some sort of strange alliance, like keeping it together, like fucking Hogwarts and the barrier between the Dementors? Like, what was up with that shit?
By the way, Tim, when we get to entertainment and gaming, I think we should take to the seas.
Okay.
Because I'm in now. I got the small galleon crew waiting for you guys. I'm already preloaded in.
Oh, send me an invite, bro.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Now, Tim, I don't know if you knew this or not about the whole about everything, but I went to Waverly Hills Sanitarium in Kentucky.
Okay.
And it was the most scared I've ever been. Like I was freaked. Like I saw shadows walk in. I saw all kinds of weird shit. And yeah, I mean, I don't really. I mean, also probably something you don't know about me. I don't know if we've ever talked about that, but I have sleep paralysis.
What does that mean?
You don't know? Okay. Well, the way doctors describe it is basically you get stuck between REM sleep and being awake and conscious.
Okay.
So I'll be fully awake. Like I'll be able to see. I can't hear very like it's a weird like muffle hearing like you're underwater for me. But I'm awake, but I can't move. Okay.
Okay.
And there's always a dark figure in the room.
Okay.
Like where there's dark, there's more dark.
Okay.
Okay. And like it could happen during the day when I'm like if I'm just napping, I can do it. And there's always a dark figure in the room. Okay. And sometimes it's really close, and sometimes it's far away. One time I had it that I felt that it was like on my, like something was sitting on my chest, like
Okay.
holding me down. Like think of like a big dude if he just grabbed you by your shirt and pushed you by your chest into the bed.
Yeah.
I woke my Jess up once by making she's like, it sounded like something was inside of you trying to escape because of the noise I made. And I was like, I was screaming. Like to me, I was screaming, but to her, it was like a, like a grunt. And then she woke me up. Yeah, it's fucking terrifying, dude.
That does indeed sound terrifying.
There's actually, I think there's a movie on Netflix about it.
Are you thinking of the Stephen King one?
No, I think it's called like Nightmare, like that.
Oh, okay.
Like it's an actual thing about sleep paralysis. Like they talk to people who have sleep paralysis.
Oh, I see.
Fucking terrifying, dude. Yeah.
Well, that's awful.
Yeah.
Anyways, how the fuck did we get onto all of these fucking weird ass fucking topics?
Dude, this is a weird show.
What were we on? I thought we were on technology.
We were on technology.
It's all that demon fucking Phoebo cat's fault.
And then we talked about porn and sex dolls and fleshlights and all that. And Tim, I sent you an invite. I don't know if you're on or not. But I mean, you want to spin it and keep moving?
Yeah, I do want to spin it and keep moving.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, still wants to keep landing on life. That's kind of pissing me off. It's landed on life like fucking so many times already. Okay. All right, finally, water. Entertainment. Okay. So I got some things to talk about on entertainment. First of all, my coworker buddy of mine recommended that I watch a new animated series called Final Space. And I was a little skeptical of this thing because it's kind of a generic yet epic yet dumb title. And the animation was kind of Futurama-y, Simpsons, Rick and Morty-ish. And the style of humor was kind of Rick and Morty-ish. And in a time where there's not going to be any fucking Rick and Morty for probably at least another year and a half, I figured I'd give it a go because my bro was like, hey, that's good. It's your humor. I think you'd like it. And I gotta say, I fucking love Final Space.
Really?
It's on the TBS network of all fucking things. But I think you can like find it online and like streaming through their website and all that sort of shit. But if you like shows like Futurama or Rick and Morty, I think you guys owe it to yourself to give it a shot. It's super good. And if you're not super convinced, the show is executive produced by Conan O'Brien. And if anybody who knows anything about Conan O'Brien knows good animation because he was one of the original writers on the first 6 seasons of The Simpsons. You know, the golden years of The Simpsons, in my opinion.
Okay.
So the best way I can describe Final Space
Writing it down now.
Imagine a extremely, extremely well thought out sci-fi universe that plays out each episode week to week, like linearly. Like it's not like an episode of the week kind of show. It's all one story, which I really like.
So it's episodic.
Yeah, it's episodic as fuck. The animation is really high quality. Like the animation team that does it, like it's just really intricate. There's like lots of nice shadows and shadings and animations and stuff. The music is really good. The voice acting is very good. And give it like a humor that's somewhere between like I'd say like a Futurama and a Rick and Morty, like somewhere between that line. And so it's really funny, but secretly, the show is actually super dark as fuck. Like it is just so fucking dark. Like, and it gets progressively darker. And there's this like moral core to it of like sadness that I can't say is in any other animated show at the moment. And it like makes it real and raw and like consequences matter. and it's just a really good fucking show. And it was created by this YouTuber, who his name is Olin Rogers. Like, you should check out his YouTube page. He's really fucking funny. But I guess it's his creation. It's just really fucking good. And you guys should totally check out a trailer or something for it. It's really fucking good. And I can't say enough good things about it. I love it. I love it a lot. You just sent me a YouTube link here.
I did.
What is this YouTube link you speak of?
It'll come up. I just wanted to prep. That's all that was.
Okay. Is it
something that we should watch and then have you react to? Yeah, because I think it's right up your alley, Tim.
Okay.
I've been debating on watching Final Space. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
because I've seen a couple I've seen like a couple commercials on TBS, and I'm like, this is TBS. What's the odds? But usually, like I can say you're probably about 100% on shows with me.
Oh yeah.
When you're like, bro,
Sweet.
You should definitely watch this, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch it, whatever. And then like I end up watching the season 3 times. By the way, Altered Carbon, I've seen it 3 times now.
It's hilarious.
Well, because I know what the end result is, so I'm like catching all like the little hints and all that.
Yeah.
All that. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker! Like now, I'm like, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, do you have a?
Okay.
I know.
Okay, so Brayden, here's how we do this. So
Okay.
He sent me a link to a trailer here. I queue up the trailer with my volume on to be recorded into the microphone, and I live react to this trailer that he sent me.
All right.
So,
this is what we do usually when we watch Netflix and do commentary.
Yeah, we just sometimes do commentary on trailers because it's that time of year where all the trailers are hitting.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have some movie that I've never heard of called Upgrade, trailer 1, 2018 on movie clips trailers. It's queued at 000. I'm ready to press play.
All right, it's loading for me.
Okay. Are you ready, Brayden?
So it doesn't look like the chat's working on my laptop, so I'm pulling it up on my phone here.
Oh, okay.
That's
fine.
Also acceptable.
Alternately, I suppose you could just Google Upgrade trailer since it's YouTube.
Also, Tim, did you want to log into your Xbox and jump into a party?
I mean,
that way?
I'm logged in. I'm just like I'm not set up in front of the Xbox. Like I'm behind it.
Oh yeah, you got to move. Forgot.
Alrighty, I have the trailer up here, ready to go.
All right. One. I mean, I've already seen it, so I can let you guys react to it because my computer's being very. Oh, never mind. It just decided it wanted to work. I think.
Okay, I just joined this. See if the use game. Okay, are we all ready?
Yep.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
As a quadriplegic, it must be frustrating for you, someone who likes to get things done.
Oh!
Here's the thing. 4 guys murdered my wife. If I could find these men, I'd do it.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything. It's a new, better brain.
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you.
Can anybody else hear you?
No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Sir Brantner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, Newcrown. You'll need a plan.
I got this.
This doesn't seem like a well-thought-out plan. I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Stay down, man. Sammy's got a knife!
I see that. We have a knife, too. You now have full control again, Gray.
You are involved in this somehow.
Well, I was in the area, detective.
There's a gun implanted inside his hand.
Stanley, what do you think I should do?
Move, Brain.
You are persistent.
I cannot allow us to be killed. We're going to finish the job we started.
You didn't know that I'm a ninja.
While I am state-of-the-art, I am not a ninja.
So,
So,
what reaction would you desire from me, Mike? Mike,
hello?
did we lose Mike?
I think we lost Mike.
Fuck.
But with this trailer, I would like to say, I legitimately watched this 10 minutes before we started this. I shit you not. It was my
That's funny.
first time seeing it, and I thought it was pretty fantastic. There are a few things I was getting really nitpicky with, but it looks like a great movie. Oh,
I have the opposite reaction. I'm like, okay, it's been done before. Okay, that combat looks kind of goofy. Okay, not a fan of the dude who's talking in his head, his voice. Like, I see where they're going. You know, it could be very good.
mm-hmm.
It just, I'm just kind of meh. I'm just kind of meh on that trailer.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I
Now
can hear
get
you.
it.
Okay. Okay. I don't know
Lost
what
you.
happened. I heard everybody say. I heard what everybody said. I heard Tim. You said it was meh. I mean, we agree to disagree, good sir.
Yeah,
You can't be 100% every time.
it's true.
Yeah. Brayden, I watched it and like my buddy sent me it. He's like, "Hey, you'd like this," and I was watching. I was like, "Totally."
Like, I like the, I like the sci-fi aspect of it, but it looks. I don't think that was a good trailer for the film.
Yeah,
I'm
it
hoping.
might have been
I'm
a
hoping
trailer.
the film is better than that.
Now I went to go. Now Tim, you know this as well, since you want to go movies. I went to see A Quiet Place yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to see it so bad.
It's fantastic.
I have left and right. I've been so disappointed in these quote unquote horror movies that people keep putting out, and they're just not anything what they make them out to be.
Don't go thinking it's a horror movie. It's more of a thriller.
Okay.
But if you see the same trailer I did, the trailer for the movie Hereditary, I don't know if you've seen that one. I can find that one quick too. That one right there is generally terrifying to me. Like it creeped me out in the theater. Like I was sitting in the theater going, "Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god." Like it's really creepy. But I mean, it's a good thriller. It really is. Like it's well acted. The way they use silence. You know what I mean? Like there's maybe 8 minutes of dialogue in the entire movie. Like
That's cool.
audible dialogue. I mean, when they're doing sign language, they kind of like they say the words as they're doing the signs, but they don't speak. Maybe 8 minutes. I'm being real generous with that. But it's so fucking good. Like when we left the movies, we go see a movie. I'm gonna say maybe, if not once a month, twice a month.
Okay.
We at least go once a month. That date night type of thing.
Yeah.
And I know a movie's good when my Jess talks about it, not just like, well, that was terrible. More like if she's asking me like, what did you think that mean, or what did you think they are, that kind of thing. it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Tim, I know you've recently went to go see a movie as well.
I did, but speaking of silence, can we get a pillow on whoever's rapidly grabbing bananas and cannonballs?
Mimi, sorry. I say you should know who that is.
I'm just thinking here, and it's like nobody grabs cannonballs and bananas that fucking earnestly. There's only like one other guy I play with on Sea of Thieves that is like, we have to have 100 planks. He's like, you don't understand. We have to have 100 planks.
The ship is only as good as its supplies, and our ship should be supplied.
Yeah, so I saw Ready Player One last night.
That's what I want to see.
I've been skeptical about the film. Like, I think like the trailers look really cool and whatnot. I know a lot of people have commented on the fact that it's like, you know, how can it have a plot or any of that sort of jazz? And I've actually had the book for like 4 years. I've just never read it. My girlfriend both read the book and actually went and saw the movie without me last weekend. And was like, it's so fucking good, I will see it again with you. And I was like, really? Okay.
Oh, okay.
So for people like us who are, you know, podcasters and geeks who know pop culture references and lots of video game knowledge and technology and stuff, it is a liquid cum shot straight into your mouth in the best possible way. Like, I say that in a Kevin Smith style of talking about cum shots.
No, I get it.
The amount of pop culture on the screen at any given time, and characters teaming up with other franchises that you would never thought you would have seen ever in your life, and also probably the political nightmare of trying to get all the licenses that fucking Steven Spielberg got for this film is sheer insanity.
It's also Steven Spielberg, so he does have a little bit of fire behind him.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about a movie where the fucking main character, or at least his avatar, because it's all about virtual reality, and in this future kind of post-apocalyptic world, actually, like, we're talking about a film where the main character is wearing a fucking, I think it's a Voltron belt. Don't quote me on that. The little lion symbol, that's Voltron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was not Voltron as a kid. I've seen the first season of the Netflix animated series. I just haven't seen the rest of it. I'm not super hardcore into it.
I mean, I also have on it right now as we speak the Green Ranger Power Coin.
Of course you do. Of fucking course you do. That's okay. That's okay. We all know that Power Rangers took from Voltron. It's fine. But we're talking about, like, the main character wears a Voltron belt, has the hairstyle of a Final Fantasy character, who walks by Master Chief and Ninja Turtles while Overwatch and fucking Battleborn characters are in the background while climbing a mountain with Batman. That's the kind of fucking movie this is. And if that isn't fucking exciting to you, then you, sir, are just not a human. That's all I have to say about that.
Especially I know how much you loved Battleborn.
I was really fucking shocked to see Battleborn in there because I know, you know, they're shutting the servers off for that. You know, but there's Borderlands. There's fucking Borderlands in it. Borderlands characters are everywhere in that fucking movie. They have Borderlands, Battleborn, Overwatch. I mean, I almost, like, somebody counted it up that it's like 333 different pop culture, like, characters and references and shit, like, is in this fucking film.
That's kind of cool.
But I mean, I don't want to spoil everything because there's like a climactic battle in the end, and it It uses a combination of extremely famous pop culture things that, quite frankly, um, I literally said in the theater, and it's like the second week the movie's been out. Like there was maybe like 10, maybe 15 couples of people in the theater with me. I literally almost stood on my seat at this one particular climactic moment when all these different properties got on screen for this epic, like, final battle, and I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I literally screamed that in the movie theater, and I was like, "Oh!" Like I was so fucking giddy. Like that's how
Awesome.
that's how fucking cool it was, like, seeing this shit. I mean, and you can see a lot of it from the trailer, like there's the first trailer, like the lead character, he rides around in the fucking DeLorean while the T-Rex from fucking Jurassic Park chases him, while King Kong, like, fucking fights the T-Rex, while the fucking Tron light bike, like, races past him. And, like, there's the fucking Iron Giant is in fucking all the trailers and stuff. And it's like, there's, like, so many more things than that. And it's just all about this, like, reference for, like, a geek and pop culture, but wrapped in a truly joyous, I mean, I don't even want to say Steven Spielberg-esque, because the type of movies he makes. Like, it's Steven Spielberg, like, at, like, his, like, Back to the Future, E.T., fucking Close Encounters, magical, whimsical, adventurous, like, self. Like, it is, like, just combine all Steven Spielberg films, and you would end up with this film. It is a roller coaster ride of pop culture references strung together in this kind of heartwarming story, in this future where basically everybody has, like, PlayStation VR version 50, and it's just fantastic. And if, like, you're a gamer and you like all of the things that I've been talking about, you owe it to yourself to see this movie. If nothing more, it is delicious eye candy to look at for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, it is, it was one of those films where, like, I had to pee really bad by the end of the film. And I'm just like, I can't leave. I gotta finish the movie. I can't leave. I gotta finish the movie. It's like one of those kind of films.
I never understood why people go to the bathroom in the middle of the movie anyways. Like, if they go to the theater.
I mean, I like to drink stuff during movies,
Understandable, yeah.
And if you pound a big ass icy and a Coke, and you haven't had a sufficient level of popcorn to absorb that liquid, you're gonna pee. So that's just me, I guess.
No,
I'm with you.
It's all good.
Yeah, so I'd say Ready Player One is definitely super fantastic, and it's one of Spielberg's best, and it's definitely one of the most fun films he's made in quite some time, because he's definitely made some serious ass films.
Yeah.
So those things. Oh yeah, so Mike, you are probably a fan of 80s science fiction movies, right?
Oh yeah.
You've seen The Last Starfighter, right?
Yes, I have.
Did you know that there is a remake coming?
I have heard that.
Yes. And apparently it's being written by Gary Whitta, who wrote Book of Eli and Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh boy.
So that could be pretty cool. I'm down for a reboot of that.
Also on the trailers for A Quiet Place, they showed the Netflix trailer for Lost in Space.
Yep, they showed it for Ready Player One too. They actually showed a different player too.
Yeah, it showed a different one.
Yeah,
it wasn't the one you showed me.
Yeah.
And Jess looks at me and goes, is this Lost in Space? And then it came up with a Netflix series, and she was like, is Netflix doing the Lost in Space? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I love that movie. And I'm like, same. We're good.
Oh, nice.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's soon. It's what is it, next week? It's next week, right?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Super stoked. It's gonna be good times.
It's going to be great.
Especially, and I've heard IGN's got the review on it. They gave it a 9.3, saying it's one of the best sci-fi reboot revivals they've ever seen. By the way.
It's fine.
Just saying.
Yeah, it's fucking dope.
Just saying.
She's like, I love that the shitty 90s movie. And I was like, oh, no, you're good. You're fine.
Yeah. Love that fucking movie too. Love that movie too. So yeah, I'm excited. It looks good. I can't wait for it. I think we've talked about it every single week.
Yeah, we have.
So obviously we'll probably talk about it more when the fucking thing is actually out. Obviously. Yeah.
You guys fucking left me. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just like kind of moving my camera around in hopes that you guys are more coordinated than me while I try to wrap up the show.
All right, I'm coming to the ship. We got to sail northwest to Snake Island because we need a snake and then we need pigs.
Did somebody get the crates?
Yeah, we got them all.
Oh, this game.
All right, Braden, grab the wheel. I'm coming on the side. I'm coming on the side.
Really? On the side?
Yeah, sometimes I get weird.
Yeah.
Heading northwest.
Yeah. So anybody been watching anything? Have you been watching anything particularly awesome or looking forward to anything, Braden?
Boy, wow, nobody realizes how boring their life is until somebody asks them that question.
So that's a no.
Well, let's see. I watch a lot of That 70s Show. I think I'm on my 10th time going through
It's a pretty good series. I don't blame you.
Let's see, my brother, he's finally watching The Office. That's good.
Yeah, I watch that like 3 times a year.
Yeah, man, like it's gonna be weird seeing John Krasinski in something other than The Office, if I'm being transparent here. I know he has more than just The Office out there.
Sure.
But I mean, it's just one of those things. Regardless, it's gonna be weird.
If you're an Office fan, you'll like A Quiet Place because there's a lot of like gym. Like you see, there's a thing that happens, and I looked at my girlfriend, and she looked at me, and she's like, "Yeah, I know," and I'm like, "Fucking A, right."
Does he stare at the camera?
No. He goes northeast. He goes
east. Okay, I thought
there's
you
yeah, I might have. There's a I looked down the opposite direction. There's a scene. It's not like a big part of the movie, but they have to be quiet. And his wife has has headphones in because she's listening to music, and he takes the headphone out and puts it in his ear, like how he did with Pam that one time at the outside the gas station. And I'm like, fucking Jim,
dude. Oh man.
But yeah, it's a great movie.
I'm really excited to see.
Ooh! Actually, I have a thing to talk about that's both simultaneously technology and movies. That's a thing. So I don't have it yet, but I purchased for myself and my girlfriend. We got that that Movie Pass card that everybody's talking about online these days. We're about to crash into that fucking rock, kids.
I see that.
We are crashing into that rock. We have crashed into that rock. Still crashing multiple times in that rock. Still crashing. Okay. I guess I will come down to help that. But anyway,
sorry.
I purchased
Pete just threw up.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you need to go handle that?
No, I already did. It was quick. It was just a little bit.
Okay. But yeah, so I bought Movie Pass cards for myself and Jessica. And if you don't know what Movie Pass is, I talked about it a little bit on like third person pass down information because a friend of mine has it.
Are
But
you ready to flank?
ready to pull anchor? Or no, I'm patching.
I can pull anchor when we get close.
Okay.
Well, we're close. That's what I said.
Pull it. Okay.
Well, no, I mean not yet, but we're getting there. Anyways, please continue.
Oh,
Tim.
Probably should
pull
pull it
anchor,
now.
pull anchor, pull anchor, pull anchor.
Got it.
We're gonna crash again. Holy shit, we crashed hard.
Oh yeah, we crashed hard. Let's go fix it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what Movie Pass.
See,
I was thinking about getting Movie Pass. I honestly was.
I mean, I don't have it yet, so I can't speak to, if it's like good or anything. But what MoviePass is you pay $10 a month, and they ship you a credit card that is tied to a application on your phone that you then activate the card with geolocation when you're within 30 yards or meters or something of your theater, and you can purchase a movie a day on it, and for no additional charge.
Oh.
The only concession is it doesn't do AMC theaters, and you can't see 3D or like big screen IMAX films, just 2D. But a movie a day, $10 a month. I mean, economically, you can't beat that.
The problem is the closest theater, all the theaters around me are AMC.
Oh yeah, well then you're shit out of luck on that one.
I mean, there I think there's a Regal there is a Regal. We went to it. It's the one we went to see the movie with. Bring a pig. There's pigs on this island as well. I hear it. It's the Regal. Yeah, but most of it, the ones closest to me are all AMC. So I'm like, I am fucked.
Sorry, dude. I mean, I don't have it yet, so I don't know how it works. My friend swears by it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit about it, and I wanted to look into it more, but I'll wait till reviews come out.
I mean, it's been out for 3.5 years, so
I never heard of it until
I
recently.
never heard of it until I heard about it on a podcast, and then my friend had it and is like, "Oh yeah, I've had that for like a year. It's great." I was like, "Oh, I hope nobody tells me about these things." But the thing about MoviePass, because they're like, well, how the fuck can they actually make their money if it's $10 a month and you're using a credit card? There's no way they're making their investment back. And in the it's not even fine print. In the big print, when you sign, they are 100% totally transparent. They're like, we are 100% selling the information of what movies you see, when you see them, how often you see them, and where you're going to the theater at, back to movie companies. Like,
of course.
We're not even going to fuck around, beat around the bush, totally selling the information. That's really how we're making our money. And you know what? I don't give a fuck if movie companies know where and when I see a movie, Like, maybe it'll help them to not produce shitty movies that I ain't going to see, It's like, hopefully we get these cards soon because I'd like to go see the new Pacific Rim. I mean, I've heard it's shitty, but I'm gonna see it anyway because it's like, I mean that's my kind of jam,
All right, I got the pink bristled pig.
I got the blue snake. I just need somebody to play music over here so I can carry it.
I don't know where you're at because I have to crane my head so far to the left, so I'm just gonna keep on lookout ish.
Okay,
while I try to wrap up this show.
It's all good.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? So I got the MoviePass thing, and there's all kinds of like we're gonna go see that Quiet Place. Like we're gonna fucking see movies.
Does it work with first run movies?
Yeah.
Like when they first come out, you can get them.
Yeah, they don't. It's just the only limit is 2D movies, and you can't do AMC theaters.
Oh, then we might just start going to the Regal. Is that just the pink pig? Right?
Yeah, it's the pink bristled pig.
All right, so now we just need a regular pink pig. Did you see one on the island?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll go grab it. Just pink, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other thing is you have to get an individual card for each person. Like you can't get like a couple's account. Like I got one for my name and I got one for her name.
Yeah, and then you both have to get it at the same time, right?
Yeah, and the other concession is like you have to get the ticket at the box office. Like you can't Fandango.
Oh, okay. So like you have to literally be right there.
Because they give you a real credit card, but how they stop you from buying stuff is you have to, like, the theater is geotagged, so you have to be within a certain distance of the theater. So if you ain't, if you ain't near the theater, the card's not active. And so it works in conjunction with your phone app.
That's pretty smart.
So that's how that works.
And so, please correct me if I'm wrong, but with this card,
hey guys, there's a galleon coming. Just to let you guys know.
Oh, okay. How often can you go see the movie?
Once a day.
Once a day.
Right.
Once a day.
Yeah.
And it's just $10 a month.
That's right. Right?
Holy shit.
Yeah. There's some restrictions, but for the price, like, you can't beat that.
Yeah,
you literally can't.
Here where I am, every Tuesday, every movie is $5.50 all day. But this card, wow. I'm definitely going to be signing up for this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wait for me to tell you if it's actually shitty or not. Like, I mean, if the fucking app doesn't work or some shit, then obviously that's
if it crashes your phone.
Yeah. There's definitely a galleon to the west of us.
Yeah, they're heading to the fort.
Oh, okay.
That means they have booty.
Where is the pink pig?
Okay, so that leaves our final topic. I don't think there's a terrible lot thing to talk about, but obviously video games. Yay, video games. So I guess Fortnite on mobile has made $15 billion already.
That is some shit.
Do you not
surprised?
Do you not like Fortnite, Braden?
It's okay. So I love Fortnite and PUBG. Don't get me wrong; they're great games. I think that battle royale games, though, are just so overhyped.
Well, I mean, they're a fad. There's no denying that they are a fad. It's just like hero shooters,
You can't deny it. No.
Yeah, they're a fad. It's like, to be fair, like, so when I say fad, I mean a fad that, like, is huge at the beginning, then they keep their core hardcore audience, and then they keep growing ever so slightly. It's like MOBAs were a fad, but obviously kept growing, but they're still played by, hardcore people. Like, I know people who played, Dota and League of Legends and and that sort of stuff. Hero shooters, like, that are MOBA-esque-ish, like Overwatch and Battleborn and Paladins, thank you. They're definitely riding a fad train, but they still have their audiences, and now the new hot thing is battle royale games.
Yeah.
The only difference is fucking Epic Games is crushing PUBG now, statistically speaking. And it's kind of funny because PUBG launched their mobile game too, or mobile version as well. I haven't actually played PUBG. I've seen PUBG, and I play Fortnite, so I get the gist of the game.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, just more military-esque, and you can't build shit.
I think it's a lot harder than Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what people say.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I think, congratulations to Epic, and obviously it's done very impressive. I talked a little bit about it being on mobile, I think last week or a week before that, because I played it. I had the early access. It's now open to everybody. But it's just weird to play a full console game, like, with no missing features on your phone.
I agree.
It's just hella weird.
Where's the pig at?
Yeah.
Oh, it's down below here. The snake was spitting venom on it.
Oh shit! Can a snake kill a pig?
Probably.
I fed him a banana.
Yeah. We still need the pink one. I can't find one on this island.
Yeah. In Sea of Thieves news, because we all love Sea of Thieves, even though we've recorded podcasts you guys haven't heard yet. Sea of Thieves is doing well. It's the most successful selling IP of Microsoft's this generation, which is pretty impressive. It's also
Yes, it is.
It's also one of the only few like completely brand new IPs. It's not a reboot or any of that shit. Selling super well. Rare released that they've got a thing where you can like write in your feedback directly to the studio, which is super nice way of handling stuff. And they've said that next week they're making a video with their roadmap of what's next for the game, updates and DLC wise, which is pretty fantastic.
I can't wait.
Super crazy news. No Man's Sky fans, of which myself and Mike are included in that elusive group, it was announced that the Xbox version is coming out this summer.
Yes, finally! Oh my god!
Oh, have you been waiting for it?
Yeah. Okay. So, I know I get all the negative crap No Man's Sky got, but I've always been one. How like this might sound a little cringy or cheesy to some, but
go for it. There's nothing you can say to myself or Mike that we haven't heard as hardcore day one supporters, even through the fires of everybody hating it. So go for it.
So I personally have always hated the fact that in my lifetime, per se, maybe towards the end of it, we're not going to be able to have interstellar travel affordable to, say, middle class. And I personally hate living, say, on Earth. It's boring. Like there's there's more to discover, but I want to be out there. And No Man's Sky
I'm digitally high-fiving you right now, man. I agree.
Yeah, that's why I played the game too, dude.
Yeah.
Are we heading to this raid fort? Is that the plan? What's the plan here?
I guess go to the next island.
Yeah, let's not head to the raid fort because I'm just basically AFK, spinning my camera, dancing on a mast.
All right. Tell me which way to go, Braden.
Oh, okay. Let me go down the map.
So as fans of No Man's Sky, I can tell you, Raiden, that it 130% fulfills.
It's better now.
Everything. It is definitely like
a lot better.
So I personally think
go left to the island, Crooks Hollows to the left. We'll check there for the pig.
I personally think that at least
Northeast?
90% of everybody's complete gripes about them lying about everything is unfounded, because I played the vanilla version for 300 hours and I saw almost everything that they promised. Like I followed every bit of news. I had like a stat sheet of all the different features I was tracking and stuff. Watched every video, every interview, all that sort of stuff. And the only things that were not in the game in the vanilla version, in my opinion, having personally seen everything that I could, multiplayer was definitely not working from day one.
Oh boy.
Portals were definitely not working from day one. And
look at that parking job.
Is pretty bad.
What do you mean pretty bad? I brought us right on the land. We didn't even take in any water.
Oh, what was the rumble for then? I felt a rumble.
I'll check.
Okay. Because we're still drifting. We're still moving.
We shouldn't be.
We're moving. We are 100% moving.
There's holes.
Oh, there's only one.
So like when people are like, "Oh, there's no sandworms in it," I fucking saw sandworms in the vanilla version. They're just hella rare. Like people don't get it. They want everything on like one planet. They want everything that they saw in the trailers in one planet. Well, that's not the fucking game. The game has
dinosaurs,
19 quintillion different worlds. Like the statistic on you finding exactly what you want on your first go are astronomically low. And so they were low, but they changed a bunch of that. So the whiny bitches could finally have their wacky worlds and stuff more easily found.
Okay. The one thing I was a little disappointed about that they went out of their way to do was the world that they put in the trailer does not exist in the game, because
Well, you know,
people went
well,
on.
first of all, and this is well documented, you know why that is, right?
Oh God, it was forever since I read the article. Please remind me.
So the first 3 trailers that they made for the game were built using code that they lost in a flood of their office in London.
Oh,
So they had to literally start over from scratch because
Oh,
they didn't
boy.
have anything backed up on the clouds. They had backup drives, but the whole office was underwater.
okay.
Like all of their computers, I think they said it was like $70,000 worth of damage in computers.
Oh,
Like they had insurance to cover it, but they didn't, have the insurance of fucking, their code and stuff.
yeah.
So like they had scraps of the code like on their home computers and stuff, but it wasn't the main deal. So they literally started over from square one.
That's rough.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when people are like, "Oh, that shit from the first trailers," yeah, because that shit is lost to time. They
shit doesn't
literally
exist
started
anymore.
over development. And Sean Murray, the creator and head coder of the game, he talks about, he's like, it actually was a blessing because it made them work harder, and he thought of better solutions for his crazy algorithm that generates everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
there's nothing cooler than landing on a planet and then just going, "Oh, do you want this to be where you build your base?" And then you're riding around trying to grab materials, and then you look up and there's a fucking like dinosaur man bear pig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right. They got some really fucking weird ass creatures in that game, bro.
Man, just to say, I am excited.
Yeah, I mean, if you have been looking forward to it, especially the state of the game now after, was it 4 huge updates that added tons of feature, from base building to owning your own freighter to farming to rovers to portal access to the whole huge story-based storyline. They also added exotic planets, which are scary as fuck.
Oh,
I haven't.
boy.
They have like biomechanical planets too, right?
Yeah, they're scary as fuck. So like, you're so used to the game, like you warp in stars and it's like, oh, there's a planet. Oh, there's a red planet. Oh, there's another planet. And then it's like, oh, there's a silver planet with hexagons on it. What the fuck is that? And you fly in and there's like all of these creepy ass like floating like biomechanical looking mines that are like glowing with like weird tentacles coming out of them, and you're just like, this is legitimately scary. I'm gonna leave this world now.
I'm out.
Like, I'm fucking out.
Video on Pornhub like that once.
They're like, what? No, I didn't hear you. Say again.
Oh, I said that sounds like one of them hentai videos on Pornhub I saw once.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, it's weird. Like, that is one game I can't stress enough. Like, nothing will ever make you feel like the scope of what our universe in reality is, because you feel so small in that game, and everything they said about, like, you can look at the space station and your little reticule, that's like miles down there, like no game will ever be the size of No Man's Sky, ever, because it just can't be done. At least,
Man,
unless they're using that sort of tech or something. But anyway, I brought it up because, A, love No Man's Sky. B, all the Xbox gamers are finally getting it. But C, they announced No Man's Sky Next. And they said that when it launches this summer on Xbox, it will come with the largest update they have ever done, and will be the next greatest step on the continuing evolution of No Man's Sky. And they said that the update will be bigger than all of the previous updates combined. And so far, their updates have been ginormous. The story, the the story mode that they added, like a new quest line, it was like 30 hours worth of gameplay.
Yeah.
So like whatever it is, like I'm excited for it. They haven't shown anything other than a logo and that it's coming to Xbox and Xbox One X. But yeah, I'm excited for whatever it is because I love No Man's Sky. I have No Man's Sky shirt. I'm actually fucking wearing No Man's Sky socks right now. Literally, as we podcast, I have fucking No Man's Sky socks with the diamond logo, which, if you've played the game, is the Atlas.
Yes.
You salty bitch, Atlas. So yeah, and then I think the only other big gaming news to talk before we close out this episode this week. This is a big one for me because I'm a huge Marvel guy and more importantly, a huge Spider-Man guy. Spider-Man PS4 has a September 7th release date. And I could not be more excited for that game. Like Sea of Thieves was my most excited for game this year until that game got a release date. So it probably goes, I mean, Sea of Thieves was here, so that's great. It'll tide me over. Haha. Sea pun. It'll tide me over until the next Destiny update, and then that'll tide me over until hopefully the No Man's Sky update is before September. And then
I'm AFK from the game for a moment.
Okay,
Nice.
that's fine. So I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man PS4. People were analyzing some of the new footage, and I guess art students were saying it looks like it has the most animations of any video game they've ever seen before.
I am excited for that.
Yeah. Do you have a PS4?
Not yet, but I am buying my own soon.
Oh, fantastic! Because me and Mike are definitely, we started our love as PS4 gamers. I mean, I have all the fucking consoles, but
Same.
yeah. Well, now.
Yeah, now.
You're fucking welcome.
Now, I mean, I don't really have an incentive to buy a PS4 now because No Man's Sky was the reason why I was. I mean, I have a gaming computer.
Yeah.
But I need to go buy more cords for it. I moved around a lot the past 3 years and they got lost.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I take it from your echo, you were taking a shit.
How'd you guys know?
All right, Tim, why don't you pull this ship in the dock? Let's,
Yeah, it sounds like a great place to end.
yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining for another fantastic episode of The Fork in Your Ear. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, signing off. You can find all of our stuff at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. I, of course, wrote a book called The Citadel Arrival, available right now on Amazon Kindle and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Free samples are available on each respective market, so buy a book, support this show. You can also check out my secondary business of Cosbon, the instant costume adhesive. It has 100-pound tensile pull strength. It's no joke. It adheres to almost everything under the sun, with the exception of silicones and pure vinyl. So you can fix all sorts of shit, and it doesn't fucking fall off, and it's not a shitty product. So check that out at cos-bond.com. And many different versions are available there as well. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at Tim_T. And we have a Discord, the Fork in Your Ear Podcast. I have no idea how you find a Discord. Do you just search for it? I don't know.
No, you can search for it by the name, or you can have the invite.
Yeah. So just search the Fork in Your Ear Podcast, just like it's spelled in the fucking...
Or tweet at one of us and we can send you an invite.
Yeah, or tweet at either me or Buster, and we'll get you in. And then you can have all of your shit talked about on the topics and feed into the love of this forking experience.
You can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. You can find my other podcast if you like Destiny and gaming centric and really weird, odd tangents. If you like this podcast, you probably do like that. At the RNG Cast on Twitter, the RNG Cast, searching on any platform you so choose to listen to your podcast, Zune included, I guess. I see you guys.
It's true. We have those numbers. Zune is always there, and I will never bash my Zune brethren because I, too, am one of those Zooners.
You can find me on the Xbox, Buster Knuckle 13, Buster Knuckle 13, just like my Twitter. And you can find me on PSN, Blister Lister 113. If you are a fan of the show or a listener, please put that in the subject line of the message. That way, I don't think you're just some weird person who is a sex bot. It would just make sense, though, if you were a sex bot, since we talked about you guys.
Well, we talked about real dolls. They're not a robot.
Yeah. Well. If I can watch it, I really want to do that raid. Just to let you know, I got a short time. I want to do that raid, but you guys are AFK.
No, we'll be on AFK in a second.
Okay, turning towards the raid.
Did you have anything you'd wish to pimp there, Braden?
I think I'm all good. Thank you guys for having me once again.
Fantastic.
Fucking joy.
Yeah.
You don't want to pimp your Instagram? You are a sponsored vapor.
I guess I should. You can find me on Instagram, Cloud9 Melancholy. Replace that D with a 9. And definitely go check out Hype City Vapors. They got fantastic flavors. So, anyways, again, thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
For having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, you're first. Yeah, man. Always great to have you on.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty. Well. Until next time, listeners, get forked.
Shazam!
All right, and we're out. Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival, by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Tim?
How's it going?
Go on, brother.
It's been a little bit of time. Hello, Braden.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Yeah. Alright.
Let's make this fucking thing. Okay, that bitch is muted. This is muted. Let's see.
Are you
I hear it. I hear it. That's funny. I could hear the startup. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I could hear it too.
But I actually hear it. I can hear that shit in my sleep, so.
Yeah, it's not like it has a lot of music in the game.
But it's catchy.
I mean, it's not bad. You know? It's not bad. Okay, where the fuck did they move that button? Okay, there we go. That's good. Oh shit, I don't even have anything about my whistle over here. Hold on.
Very quiet. That's what she said was what got me.
I can hear.
I heard him.
That fucking.
He said, hold on, let me get something to wet my whistle. And he's like, that's what she said.
No, what she actually said was, want you to do me.
Well, I mean, why are you here?
What?
Why are you doing a podcast then if that's what she said?
No. That was less than 24 hours ago.
I was confused.
I'll be right back. I gotta go put this wasabi in the fridge.
Very odd thing though. Okay.
I mean, you know, people like wasabi. Okay, so I think I'm gonna open with two things. One, apology, because I never got those episodes out that we recorded fucking 2 weeks ago. They're sitting on my desktop. They're actually edited, believe it or not.
You can sit on them for bonus, basically. Now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sit on them for bonus. I got 3 of them. Got 3 hours worth of bonus there. I was actually trying to get my my ad done for the cause bond, but I was gonna use Jessica's voice so that it wasn't just my voice sounding like a prick.
All the time.
Yeah. But she's been like sick-ish for like the last week and a half.
Okay.
So start with an apology, and then I wanted to move into life stuff to get that out of the way to bring that up because obviously, as you know, I am also dogless.
Yeah, I know. I'm
So
sorry, buddy.
I figured I would just get that out of the way since that was the real reason why those episodes didn't go out Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh, well.
I don't care. It's pretty
yeah,
much...
no, I did not. I did not give a fuck.
No, yeah. I'm 100% with you.
I was like, you know, I need to surround myself with happy things. So I'd hit with that and then do the typical spin for all the other topics.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So, and I sent Dan Finity an invite to the Discord as well. So, yeah.
It was funny. How do I do this?
I mean, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know there was a little thing above the thing. Okay.
No, it's cool. I've had Discord for fucking almost 2 years now. So
yeah, you're a master at this point.
I am the Duke of Discord. I couldn't say the Discord daddy because that kind of sounds like a weird sexual thing.
It does indeed sound like a weird sexual thing.
That's completely okay though.
That he's a Discord daddy?
I'm the Discord daddy?
Yeah, I'll bet. Okay, so Braden, here's the plan.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so we're going to roll our regular show like we normally did. The one you were on was not a normal show, as you know. Probably an hour or two. And then we'd continue rolling, but also playing Sea of Thieves until Mike has to bounce because he has a previous engagement with all his damn fans.
I have a game of Borderlands set up.
Yeah,
we're running through Borderlands together from start to finish, only with each other's characters, only when we're all together.
Oh boy,
it's gonna be rough to keep that going because that game ain't short.
Mm-hmm.
It has the opposite problem, the complete opposite problem of Destiny and Sea of Thieves. There's almost too much content in that game.
It was fucking crazy, dude.
Exactly. So I think if you recall, Braden, so we have things arranged by topics, entertainment, books, TV shows, movies, all that sort of stuff, technology, life stories, video games, and all that sort of stuff. And we spin a little Dungeons and Dragons spin ring for that. Typically, is how we get onto those topics. I'm not sure if we did that. I don't think we did that.
No, I just think we kind of we did like the flow method of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just kind of flowed through with everything.
Yeah, and I was just talking to Mike while you were putting your wasabi away, which, by the way, I assume that better be wasabi in relation to sushi.
Oh, dude, I eat wasabi with everything. Like I can
Really?
just straight drink wasabi.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's a thing.
Very much so. I love it.
Well,
we could talk about sushi. We could do that.
But I was telling Mike I needed to open with an apology because the Sea of Thieves podcast that we did, that you were on, is still sitting on my desktop, not uploaded. And the real reason that it wasn't uploaded is because Sunday, the day after, my dog died. And I had to bury him. And I just did not feel like fucking doing the show. And then my life got super crazy busy, like ridiculous work hours. So I was going to open the show with an apology and then also move straight into the life topic specifically, just so that I can get the, dog's death off the chest.
Yeah.
Because actually, the show before you were on, even though that one hasn't aired yet, Mike lost his dog, who is also a German Shepherd. And then I got all like, we all got super grief. We cried on the fucking show, man. And then, I had a scare with my dog, and then, he was no more.
Yeah.
So
sorry to hear that.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, it sucks. It's obviously been 2 weeks, so I'm a little better than I was.
Okay, dude, my first dog, he passed away a few years ago. It still fucking sucks.
Yeah, this will be my second dog. The difference, though, I'll just get into it in the show, and we'll just capture all the reactions live. All right. And you still want me to go by just calling you Braden?
Yeah.
Braden, no last name?
No, there's Braden. It's cool. Whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, all right. We mostly go by first names anyway, Tim, so yeah, it works.
I suppose. I introduced myself with my long ass author name.
And you also do mine too, my full name. But that's funny because we'll bring that up in life, because I don't think that everybody calls me Mike List anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been called Mike. Like even Jess calls me Mike List.
Like your full fucking name?
My full fucking government, yes.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And final note before we begin, because I feel like probably some of you are playing Sea of Thieves and I'm not presently. No? Yes?
Oh, I'm just sitting in the home screen.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, because if you are, just please cover your controller with a pillow if you could. But anyways, all right, let's get into it. You ready, everybody?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, fantastic. All right, here we go. Cut in!